Welcome to Thrones and Scones. It's your weekday morning podcast where we get to chit-chatting a little bit about Game of Thrones, of course, over the most important meal of the day. It's Tony, Hans, and Jeremy in with you today, tackling Season 3, Episode 8, Second Sons and Vanilla Coconut, which you ain't just gonna find on them Walmart shelves. They were made special, but we will get to the scones a little bit later on. Hi guys, welcome to your Wednesday. How's the week going for you so far? Warmer? I'm appreciating that.
Yeah,
finally.
I mean, it doesn't take much to be warmer.
Yeah.
But
by warmer,
still.
You mean single digits on the right side of zero?
Yep, and I'll take it.
I'll take it.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, no, we started at -1 and get to -14 now. Or at least that's what my day looks like ahead. I know you guys got this crap already, but here in the Ohio, lovely tri-state area, we're just getting pounded with that stuff. Although,
I mean, I'm sorry, if -14 is what you're getting, you're not getting pounded with anything, you pussy.
It's been a while since I've been in Wisconsin. I mean, I clearly forgot what cold is.
What did it get down to up by you, Hans?
So real temp was like -24 or so.
Mm-hmm.
Wind chill was somewhere in the -50s.
You did get that high.
Yeah,
Jesus.
it was
Or
nasty.
that low.
I
I think we hit the lowest we got was like -35 with the wind chill, and that was plenty. I wasn't asking for any more. I'm thoroughly chilled to the bone. My heating bill is just my whole budget this month. It's great. Welcome to the Midwest.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. They were saying exposed skin would frostbite in like 4 minutes, and then
That's bananas.
The other thing that was, and this is complete. Don't fact check me on this, but I guess like just to start the podcast out on a real downer, I think like 17 people died.
Oh shit!
Just over the last couple of days. Yeah.
Did you hear about the frost quake things?
No.
Which is like wet ground freezing so rapidly that it basically splits like a mini earthquake and was sending shocks, and like people didn't know what the hell was going on.
Weird.
Pretty much up slightly more north than you, but up there in Wisconsin still.
Yeah, but
it's bananas.
What I always remember about Wisconsin was like it would be really, really cold, but then because it's so cold, you don't get snow. In Ohio, we get like this. We're always on like the freezing temperature range, so we get a lot of like ice and like that sleet shit, and then snow on top of it, which just sucks because you have this really annoying situation where it freezes at night, then suddenly all of that wet snow just becomes even more ice.
Yeah. I mean, it definitely. Cons, do you remember when Kyle's bachelor party was? Like what month? We went to a bachelor party up in central Wisconsin. I think it was in like May.
He got married in June, May or June.
So okay,
it must have been
probably
around there,
like
yeah.
May.
Yeah.
And we went up fully like it was a cabin. We had all these activities planned, which was just drinking outside.
So much activities.
And it snowed the whole time.
Yeah,
in
freaking
mid-May. It was terrible.
Yeah, I remember Wisconsin for that shit.
I mean, we still went outside because after drinking a lot, it doesn't really matter.
Got that beer blanket on.
Exactly. For Game of Thrones, it's snowing in places as well. Should we get a little wiki so that we can know what's going on here for this episode 8?
And just before you do that, I'm also now that I know, I'm also calling bullshit on this no hat business up north of the wall.
Right? They would all be dead. They would have killed themselves months ago. That's what I'm saying. All the Freys have hats, and they're like in the center of the continent. They can send some hats to the wall. Share the love. Oh, all right. Shall we wiki?
Wiki it up.
Wiki it up, Tony.
King's Landing hosts a wedding, and Tyrion and Sansa spend the night together. Dany meets the Titan's bastard. Davos demands proof from Melisandre. Sam and Gilly meet an older gentleman. Who could it be? I don't know. Yeah.
Already,
nice short and sweet
already
here.
kind of disappointed. Was hoping for a little cookie monster.
You didn't tell me.
Oh, I thought we talked about this before. God damn
Well,
it.
the people didn't know that. I wasn't just going to spring Cookie Monster on them. They're
totally-
be like, thinking I had some sort of weird stroke.
Well, I was pointing
totally-
at Hans. I'm like, you call him. You call
I
him.
totally forgot about that. Actually, it's okay. It's good to have Tony back for a little while. Well,
Thank you. No one's ever said that to me ever.
we'll get some guest intros coming up, I'm sure.
Second Sons. For once, a lot of our action is happening over in Daenerys' neck of the woods.
Yeah, I thought so. This episode to me was kind of slow. I didn't think it was a bad episode, but it wasn't something that I enjoyed as much as our prior couple.
I agree with that. Yeah.
You know, again, I think I still struggle with this just the Daenerys story. It does tend to move a little slower than everywhere else. The meeting of the Second Sons, was it Marrow or Murrow? I mean, I'm waiting for my sound every time
I don't know, actually. I think it might be Marrow.
Yeah.
I don't know that.
So the Marrow character seems a little bit overdone.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of ridiculous. Which actually I think was kind of funny. So it wasn't that horrible. But then the Second Sons, in the sense of like building her army, I thought that was cool. I thought, what's his name? Is it Bravos? Bravos comes off as a little bit of like a pretty boy, you know? No, Bravos.
That's a city.
Bravos.
Dario?
No, what am I talking
Yeah,
about?
you're
Oh,
talking
I
about
am.
Dario.
Oh my god, I'm staring at my notes and I'm putting. Okay, yeah, Dario. Yeah. So
Close.
This is version 1 of Dario as well. The next season, we're going to change actors for
Yes.
Dario. And I remember when that happened, I was like, I wonder if he had just had another obligation, because I thought he was fine. Watching it again, I like the new guy a lot better.
Yeah,
no offense to this
it
dude.
is better.
So he actually left. It wasn't Game of Thrones that replaced him.
Oh, really?
He left to do other stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
To try
Well-
and make it big.
They filled the gap nicely, at least. Yeah, Dario is one of these characters that I think doesn't translate well from the books. Like, he's still a great character in the show. He's so very different. So I kind of got to like him for what he is. He's not sort of as flamboyant and creepy and stuff like that. But
Was he creepy in the books?
he's not creepy. I shouldn't say creepy, but like all the people from Tyrosh and Mir, like, they're so colorful. Like, literally their hair is like bright red and bright green, and they have these crazy forked beards and twirly mustaches. And they're just like a little off. Like, they really are a world away from everyone else. And they tone that down, understandably, by not introducing it at all. But I just wonder, as someone who hasn't read the books, what's your impression of Dario Naharis? Like, I think he just come off as like another pretty boy.
Yeah, he's just a dude to me. I don't know. He's not like he almost comes off kind of creepy to me, just because his intentions are weird, right? Like,
Yeah.
he doesn't. The whole fact of killing what are technically his superiors, right? To take over the army just to follow Daenerys because she's hot. That's his rationale.
He loves her, Hans. It's true love.
Immediate love.
How dare you?
I don't know. I think it would have been cooler to have at least, again, not reading the books, I don't know, but it would have been cooler to have some little ode to that, I would think. Maybe not the
Yeah.
hair or the beard, but they could have done where he just had like a little bit more flashy uniform
Yeah.
or some bright colors that are a little standout without being too crazy. I think would have been a little cool.
Fucking colors do exist. Everyone's clothes are the same colors except for Daenerys. Like, colors exist, and you can put them on clothes. I promise.
Yeah, I think Daenerys makes some really cool, like, I mean, she has little speeches every once in a while when she talks about, essentially, you know, I didn't have an army, and then I got one shortly, and then I didn't even have dragons, and I have 3 now. I mean, trying to make the point where, you know, essentially, like, I started with nothing, and look what I'm building. Don't stand in my way. When she was talking, I thought that was pretty cool. A lot of her speeches kind of fall to the wayside in the show, so I thought that was pretty neat.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of cocky Daenerys down the road where it kind of bleeds into her personality. But right now, when she's just putting on that show, I love it. It's really good.
And
Yeah, I think
seems- Go ahead.
Sorry, I was just going to say, I think it is the best right now. I agree that as the show goes on, I like Daenerys less and less. And I think it's supposed to be the opposite, but I don't know.
Yeah. It's interesting over there. I think a lot of this stuff happens across the Narrow Sea, as it were. But I mean, hey, we get some good things happening in King's Landing as well. A wedding, good if you're Joffrey, I suppose, as he is just getting trashed and loving to torment Sansa, threatening to, come to her room and rape her once Tyrion is all done, because it doesn't matter which Lannister puts the baby in your belly. Some weird moments of this wedding. My favorite bits of the episode, I think, come from the wedding, and it's kind of just people getting a little loose-lipped and drunk. I love Olenna running down the relationships to Marjorie, where she's like, all right, so she's like, so the king will be your husband and your nephew? I'm not sure, but one thing is for certain, your brother will be your father-in-law.
No, come on, the best part is Tyrion threatening to fuck Joffrey with his wooden cock. That was the best line. The look on Joffrey's face, he was like, would you use my crossbow as well?
It's a little different, and maybe it's just because it's so public or something, but in a few episodes prior, or in a few moments prior to this, we get Tyrion standing up to Joffrey, Joffrey going, what did you say? You can't say that. And then Tyrion doubles down. And in the next episode, or episode 10, he does that again. So it's a little odd that now, especially when he's so drunk, that he would back up and be like, I'm sorry, Your Grace. Like... Maybe it's just
it moves really fast from here to kind of the points he's making next episode as well. But I thought Tyrion was really good. I think he's pissed. The wedding is not what he wants to do. Tywin there is like, yep, suck it up, Buttercup. And then, I feel like there's this dynamic with Tyrion that we just watch him get more and more spiteful with Tywin. I mean, he's always witty, but man, he is getting downright vulgar now, and it's enjoyable. It's good.
You will put a baby in that Stark girl, and you must be sober to do. I am the god of tits and wine. He's great in it. And then, I mean, showing his lighter side and stuff when he gets back, and not bedding down with Sansa Stark.
Yeah,
surprise.
And then Shay. I mean, Shay's been so on and off now in the last couple episodes. She seems like she's pissed all the time, but then she talks about how much she loves Sansa, how she would pretty much do anything for her. And then, when she realizes that, there is no evidence of a wedding night or whatever, she smiles and is happy. It's kind of confusing because you don't really know where Shay's mindset is this entire time.
What else you guys really liked from the episode?
Yeah, I thought the wedding was pretty good. Not my favorite parts come from the wedding though. But just to make a note on the wedding, I like when Loras tries to talk to Cersei, and he's like being pretty nice, just being cordial, kind of like just making the best of a just shitty situation, and she's still just a total bitch.
Yeah, no one cares what your father said.
Shuts him down. Thought that was pretty funny. I didn't mind the. I was kind of. I at first I was kind of thinking the second sons are pretty. I remember them being cooler than they were. And I remember Daria being cooler than this too. I do like Ver 2. I like version 2 better.
Yeah.
Much better.
I think because he's the one that has that cool fight outside the gates. He's like kind of the baller. I think that's where the smooth criminal Daria Naharis comes.
That's where so
that is a pretty badass scene.
Regardless of rest, no, I don't think this one does a terrible job, but I do like the one better. But yeah, I didn't care for the infamous second sons as much.
They didn't live up to their expectation.
Yeah. So other than that, I think my favorite part, which is jumps a little bit, pretty much to the end of the episode.
Oh, sure.
I just like when the White Walker shatters that sword. It's pretty badass.
The noise that it makes is so cool.
Yeah.
Oh God. Yeah, and then Sam, the Slayer.
I know. Yeah.
Stabs the White Walker in the back.
Yeah.
And now we know. Dragon glass. White Walkers don't care for it.
Just leaves a weapon that is shown to be of great protection. He's like, yep, I'll just leave this. It's not valuable at all.
Yeah, he doesn't go and pick it up.
I forgot that.
He does. Yeah, he does.
I don't know. They don't show him pick it up.
They don't show him
It's
doing
not
it.
obvious that he picks it up.
He must do it, or at least he has more.
He has more.
He gives
he
some
has
to
more
Bran and whatnot.
Yeah, he has more, but I just thought that was weird. I couldn't remember that part. And then in the Dragonstone stuff, again,
Yeah.
I know, right? Melisandre
my least favorite
is
part
just,
of the episode.
Yeah. and just the way she talks to Gendry, like the whole seducing to put leeches. It's I don't know. She's
it was
just
weird.
fucking weird.
I know that family bloodlines are long and noble and somewhat predictable. I mean, it's the whole reason that Ned finds out that Cersei's kids aren't Robert's kids is because of hair and stuff like that. So, there are some powerful dominant genes at work, but Stannis must be a pretty good geneticist to just, they bring Gendry in, and we remember the scene when Melisandre leaves. She does not tell him what she's doing or where she's going. He just comes, and Stannis grabs his face, looks at him, and goes, huh. Half Robert, half lowborn. It's like, oh, you got all that, huh? Interesting. Okay, cool. And then my other problem, I kind of like the Melisandre Gendry stuff to a point. I like what she's doing with him. If she slit his throat, but she didn't. She just put leeches on him. And correct me if I'm wrong, but leeches don't really hurt, right?
Oh, no, they suck.
Really?
Yeah. So I remember when I was like young, like 9 or 10, and we were like crawling in like the creeks, like trying to crawdaddies. And I remember Derek stepping into an area, like wading in a pool, and then had these black leeches all over his legs. And we looked down, pulling them off sucks because they have you don't feel them bite. I mean, they have this saliva where it kind of numbs, but taking them off, it blows. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I still feel like if they were just like, all right, here, we're going to feed you. We need a little bit of your blood. We're going to put these leeches on you. You don't really have a choice, so just deal with it. Like, she wouldn't have had to seduce him like that. Plus, her whole point was, we need to sacrifice the kid, but he can't see it coming or it'll spoil the blood. Well, then you just put leeches on him and then throw him down into a dungeon and, like, I think he knows now.
Yeah, I think
he's thinking this is a normal thing.
He's about to be sacrificed.
So what was the rationale for the seduction? Just get the blood flowing.
Get the leeches, yeah.
Oh, the blood flowing thing could be a fair point, but again,
need to get that penis leech really, really filled with blood.
Yeah.
It's engorged. That one is.
Do you guys think it's never answered? Really? It takes its sweet time to work in certain circumstances. Do you think that this magic does anything, or that it's just circumstantial, that things kind of work out for Stannis in this way?
Oh, that's a good question.
I was thinking this during the episode, too. I was like,
I take it as circumstantial.
Because the Renly thing was immediate. And it wasn't the same, granted. But, this is a bit longer than that. I agree. I think it's a circumstantial thing. Yeah, we do get to see the very, very base of Gendry's penis for our good, bad, and jugglies today. Just the very root of the tree.
Just a little tease.
Teases us, and then she throws a leech on it, and all of our stuff is lost.
And then flaccid immediately.
Before I hit the other good, bad, and juggly moments, do you guys have any other high points or low points? Again, I know it was a slow episode.
Yeah, it really was. I'm reading through all this stuff. My notes. We covered pretty much everything.
I think another good point that we didn't mention is, or at least not to a large extent that I remember, Arya has a chance to clock the Hound over the head, right?
Oh, I forgot that
the
part.
rock.
Yeah.
And the Hound is awake and obviously realizes what's going on and says something along the lines of, "Kill me and you're free, but if you live, I'll break both your hands," or something.
Yeah.
So do you enjoy the Arya Hound kind of dynamic as much as you enjoyed the Brienne and Jaime the next couple episodes?
It's a bit different. I do like it a lot.
I think it's different, but I still think
for sure,
both situations are really enjoyable to watch on screen. Character-wise, you believe it, and I think that was really cool. I mean, the Hound was so one-dimensional, and then just the next 2 episodes, you really start to discover why. I mean, he's doing all these nice things for Sansa, and you're like, what? What the hell? Like, it doesn't make any sense in his character so far, because he likes to kill. That's all he ever talks about. Yeah. So
we all like to kill, Jeremy.
Yeah, everyone likes to. You like to. Your mother likes to kill. Your pet goldfish likes to kill. It's the thing of I like the Hounds and Arya thing a lot in retrospect. Like right now, I think it's good to watch, not as much as the Brienne and Jaime thing, because you get to see both of their characters develop.
Yes.
The Hound is really like after him and Arya part ways. That's when his development kind of really goes.
Yeah,
and
sure.
you know it comes from her and what they have kind of gone through. So you appreciate it, not as much in the moment, I don't think.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think you look back and you realize that for the Hound, and I think that's of how much, because no one else really provides that relief. I mean, when he walked away from the king, it's like essentially he was betraying an oath that, whatever, no big deal.
Hell yeah.
And then you see him kind of figure out why he's doing those things. And I think that's cool.
Well, we didn't get to see the Hound's titties, but we did get to see Melisandre's naked body again, and Daenerys as she rises from the water. I actually just wrote down half of Dany's nipples because for the longest time, Dario's talking to her, and she's just sitting in the tub, and you can just see half of her nipples peeking out, and then she does stand up, and I didn't make a second note of that.
Well, there's even more jugglies, right? Because then there's the second sons sitting around in the...
you're right.
With the prostitute.
The hooer.
Yeah, I believe they like to be called sex workers.
Okay.
Passing those coins out. Yeah.
The thrones thoroughly tackled. Shall we run headfirst into the scones? Hans, what you got today?
I have a vanilla coconut scone. Some call it coconut vanilla.
Some idiots.
Yeah. Homemade. Jenna went round 2 on the baking with the scones.
Must have gone well the first time.
Yeah, those banana bread scones were delicious. The vanilla coconut, a request from myself. Big fan of vanilla and coconut. They're really good. Not as good as the banana bread. Those were next level. But these are actually even a little tamer, a little less sweet, really good with some coffee. So I'm enjoying those.
All right. Well, if you'd like to see the picture, that's up on Instagram at Thrones and Scones, and that same handle can be used on all of our social medias, wherever you'd like to find us. Of course, you're already listening, but if friends want to tune in anywhere they can find podcasts, you can pretty much find our ugly mugs. We'll be back tomorrow with episode 9 of season 3. You down with GOT?
Yeah, you know me. We should just leave it silent for a while. Just like,
well, shit.
Oh, shit.
Well, shit. fucking nailed that app.
Boom. No, see you tomorrow, I guess. Bye.